Alright there, my name's Ragtag and I'm the greatest gutter tier gamer on the face of this earth, and today I'd like to talk to you about Season 2. Not so much of a whiny pathetic loser rant, but more the musings of a player who still really enjoys this game. But it turns out that I'm enjoying Unranked a lot more than Ranked, but that only really became the case once I popped into Platinum 4 and realised I had stepped into a completely different world that left me in shock about how difficult it actually is to climb once you step out of the middle tiers. And not only that, but the game I fell in love with back in March is not the game that we have right now as you reach further up in the ranks, but we'll get to that shortly. Now, when I recount my thoughts and feelings for you over the next several minutes of time that you may well demand back, because a lot of you can't understand half the words coming out my mouth, leading to comments such as, "What is Shrek doing with a YouTube channel? Haha!" Anyway, these are just my opinions as someone who spends around a couple hours a day in the game with a mixture of solo queue and pre-made. And with all things concerning an individual's opinions, the best place to put these is right up your arsehole, or on YouTube. Yeah, that works too. Anyway, look, ranked play is frustrating me right now, and whilst that could easily be taken as a negative moan and a sign of the end of me playing Apex, I'm still playing it pretty much every day with a big smile on my face with two conditions. One, I'm in a group, and two, it's unranked. If I tried to sit and think of some of the reasons that makes unranked a better experience for me than ranked, the first one comes to mind, that is, I find myself in Plat 4, where almost every player is of the same mechanical skill as I am, or better, leading me to the sobering realization that I am back where I started when I first picked up this game, a heaving bag of shite surrounded by superior players. I feel like every game I enter right now, I'm bad. I'm very bad, Terry bad, super bad, Looper movie bad even. I'm so shite at this game, I feel like I'm gonna DC and then be met with a code give up message. Some bullshit going on in here.
Let's have a look.
Watch this. Oh, fuck! Now, there's various things that one can do to improve their skill set in Apex Legends, but all of them can be near impossible if you dare venture into solo queue, which is one of the things that I feel is probably most detrimental to anyone who reaches their plateau in ranked. And by that I mean, you know, that area where you can't break through anymore because you perpetually yo-yo up and down by 10 to 15 points. And fortunately for me, I'm right at the bottom of plat, so if dropping out of ranks was a thing, I'd be seeing a different story for sure, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm still getting games where I get suicidal randos that don't care if they see 9 other squads dropping into bunker, which is actually no problem in unranked, as the queue times are always instantaneous for me, so I don't mind bopping people to death only to get kicked in the face. But Plat 4 can take up to a few minutes for every game, and each loss leaks RP out the crack of my arse. But it gets better, because perhaps you have been privileged to be blessed by the gods amongst mortals, the famous broadcasters who grace you with their presence. That's right, I'm talking about the ones who put Twitch TV or TTV in their origin ID and decide that they don't need a squad of 3. Here I am, Gibraltar, don't ask why, right? But still, I'm the jump master. I ping my spot. What have we got here? Oh yeah, they're solo dropping. Okay, they probably just want control of exactly where to land now that I've pinged it. But wait, yeah, that's right. Get wrecked, Gibby, you washed up lifeguard with an ironing board for a shield. They don't care about you because Mr. TTV, extra selfish bastard, has got a different plan. One that involves going much further away. Our pro streamer didn't say a word to me, didn't type anything, he just buggered off to a place of his choosing with his other pal, I assume he just, duo queued with. Anyway, nice one, cheers, great, thanks. Now these things, they happen anyway in ranked or unranked alike, but when the sole purpose is to gain RP with a view to pushing up the skill barrier, getting hit with up to -3 every single game when I'm already struggling, that's not a great deal of fun. And some of you will be keen to point out the prevalence of Smurfs in Apex Legends, and whilst I have been killed by a level 26 who's got 900 kills, I've also met people who deleted me and my teammates so fast I started to think, yeah, okay, right, hang on a second here, is this guy cheating? So after one of those games where I played like a complete donkey, just about to exit the game and stop my recording, I was thinking, hey, wait a minute, this guy's got a lot of kills as Gibraltar. It's time to learn from the master. So I think he got like 2 or 3 kills that were unbelievable, and I thought, I've got to see more of this, so I turned it back on. With Shadowplay running, I was ready to watch this back later. He was stalking his prey, spied them up on the high ground, probably signaling to his teammates that enemies are ripe for the picking. Up they go. Not perfect aiming, but when he lands his target, his strikes were swift and sure. At this point, I could imagine if some of you are thinking, hang on, Ragtag, you're not about to accuse this guy of soft lock aimbotting, are you? Because that kill looked pretty legit. I mean, if there were to be some kind of cheating going on, he'd be snatching enemies before they were even in view. They'd be getting popped from half a mile away and... Oh. Alright, yeah, there we go. Anyway, I suspect that if someone were to be reported for cheating like this, one of the things the devs might look at would perhaps be accuracy in combat when discharging a weapon. So plenty of legit looking gunfire would maybe leave a lot of these botters unreported, which is a bit of a shame, I think. Anyway, what have we got? We got boosting, smurfing, cheating, all that kind of thing. It's becoming pretty standard these days in FPS games and all the rest of it, but I suppose it all starts to add up when you consider trying to hop on and rank up in Apex, in solo queue particularly. So it's still in the back of my head as something that starts to just sting that little bit more when you're feeling like someone's got an unfair advantage over you for whatever reason. The next thing for me is queue times and matchmaking. These start to increase the higher you go, and when the game is out of fucks to give, Plat 4 will start to find themselves in games with diamonds, Apex Predators, pro players. I have actually played against pro players that I thought were cheaters, but they were just unbelievably amazing at this game. But these humiliating insta-deaths that happen from better skilled players happens frequently and subsequently results in frustration for your teammates, particularly if you are once again in solo queue like I am about an hour a day, which, to be honest, the more I think about it, the more I just need to stop that shit. If any of you have had the misfortune of experiencing toxic voice chat in Apex Legends, then you will know it's not a very nice thing to go through, but many people shrug it off and just mute accordingly. However, what a lot of people don't do is mute their squad right at the... I mean, maybe you do, but a lot of people don't mute their squad right at the start of the game unless some arsehole is watching TV in the background and it blares right down their microphone. And if they're not doing that and they're completely silent, most of us give voice chat present players a chance to communicate when they need to, right? And most people have got it on and they never say anything the entire game. However, it is usually a surprise to hear them suddenly pipe up halfway through the game and call you a plethora of names designed to insult you and your ancestors with the vengeful vitriol of a tightly wound virgin because they have been downed. A lot of the times when I'm playing it, it is those who speak English as a second language who tend to throw the most amount of crap my way. It's almost as if they went out of their way to learn this language purely to communicate ill intent, which is strange given that they were completely mute until the moment where they lash out, which, as you all know, is extremely helpful. Nothing instills teamwork like being told that you are a feeding useless cheese dick who got boosted into plat. Of course I'll res you, sir. Thank you for your feedback. Let me magic you back up onto your feet with a shot of epinephrine and abracadabra. Nope, you're still a twat. Now, the style of play in Ranked is certainly adaptive and it changes as you go up the way. In plat, 3 points per game has left me looking at scenarios where we're in round 3 and there's 10 squads left. Now, this in itself isn't a problem because in some of those games I find myself in huge firefights shortly after, most of which I lose, but those battles are a lot of fun. Other games, however, there are 10 squads left in round 3, but 6 of those consist of 1 person per squad, mainly because those guys are in survival mode, and that makes it much harder to get into fights, which leads to running around trying to find people, which consequently leads to longer games, and sometimes truly is terrifying or even exciting to be that person surviving alone, hiding under a bridge as a war rages all around you, enemies running past you as you hold your breath counting down the squads. But it does eventually get old because time after time you end up just trying to protect your expenditure rather than meaningful climbing because you're basically too scared to go out there and get kills. It almost makes sense just to minimize the risk and wait to top 3 rather than go out 1v3 and get absolutely wrecked. So we get 2 other types of players to contend with that become extremely prevalent as standard play for ranked mode. Mainly those that bunker into a house or sit on a high ground, and then the executioners who run around sniffing the pheromones of the shit-scared, hedge-hiding, tree-hugging, armorless babes of the brush. You know, they thin the herd out by stalking the outer edges of the ring and bringing balance to the game once more, I suppose. But this doesn't change the fact that playing in solo queue often brings about early game battles where if things start to look even remotely unfavourable, you often find that, where's your third teammate gone? Always decided to disengage rather than take any kind of risk. That can be very frustrating indeed because they don't even try. Not that that doesn't happen in Unranked, it definitely does. People run the fuck away for a multitude of reasons, but the motivation to protect that investment of RP is much stronger when there is the promise of greener grass on the other side. However, I can guarantee you that that cow shit, sheep shit, dog shit, it's all there waiting for you to step in it if you ever get to the other side. And so, when you take into account the fact that you cannot predict how difficult each new set of circumstances will be when you first land into a game, in solo queue, you simply have the ping system or you start talking in voice chat. The former is of limited use because, as we just spoke about everyone wishing for greener pastures, when the chips are down, everyone is looking at their own patch and not worried so much about their teammate due to their own feelings of self-interest, self-preservation, and most of all, self-elevation. And unless you're carrying those who seek the honours of the place where they don't belong, then you are literally dead to them unless some sort of agreement is reached in regard to like a battle plan and general strategy. Now, some people want to play the zone. Others want to risk it for a biscuit to get the early loot. Others want specific loot spots where they will just go to and stay there, and if anyone else comes in, they're going to get wrecked by honeypot strategies. But many of the things I've spoken about, that all exists in unranked play. The difference is that you get the chance to go against variably skilled players, increasing the enjoyment of your battles by convincing yourself that you are actually good at something in this oh wait, that's my life. Yeah, well anyway, the main thing to take away from this is if you're going to play ranked, get a few friends, otherwise it's completely dog shit. If you're going to play solo queue, I think Unranked is the place to be. Anyway, leave a comment below, let me know how you're finding Season 2 ranked mode, subscribe to this channel and check out my second channel as well because I actually upload there every day. Take it easy, shut your fucking mouths, catch you in the next one, later.